Salute, salute, salute. What it is, what it do, what's happening, man. Blessings. Wow. It's Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Real quick video, and I'm gonna get out the way. So, I've been thinking about, the actual fight, how it would play out between Devin Haney, the Dream, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that really matters to me. Like, if they're gonna fight, I want to see the fight so we can see the action, and then play the action, punch for punch, blow for blow, let the best man win. That's what's exciting to me, is to see the style, technique, who's gonna be victorious, who's gonna be defeated. But I'm not gonna make too many videos talking about this, because I can already see right now. First of all, the business is just best discussed behind closed doors. And when shit start getting quiet, then that's when maybe something about to happen. When it's a whole bunch of this rah 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 back and forth, that ain't mean shit ain't happening. That just mean, it ain't no smoke and it ain't no fire. It's just talk. It's just white noise. And that shit starts seeming juvenile, immature. It started to make me look at the fighters differently, both of them, on all of them. When it started being too much talking and too much tweeting and too much social media videos and Instagram posts and all that shit, to me, it dilutes their personality and make them look soft. All of them, all the characters involved. From Leonard Ellaby to Bill Haney to Gervonta Tank Davis to Devin Haney. When they start, posting too much and making their little videos and doing their little Instagrams or TikToks or whatever the fuck they doing, to me it water it down. It dilute their personality. It makes me lose interest in it. You just talking nonsense back and forth, looking immature, looking lame, in my opinion. So I hope they just keep it business. Stand on business and really try to get the fight happening, period, point blank. A little bit of build up is cool, but if it go too far into just talking back and forth and taking shots and digs and, chasing clout and just rah, rah, rah. He said, she said, and who fought this person and who A side and who B side and who, pay-per-view and who the biggest star, and, when you just start turning into all that damn prima donna shit, I'm gonna lose interest. I'm gonna lose interest already, because I'm old school. So these new school cats already hard to keep up with, trying to, they fashion and they style and they language, the way they move outside the ring is already, to me, a lack of G. I give them, I like Tank, and I like Devin Haney. I like Bill Haney. And there's still a little bit of part of me that got some respect for Ellaby. But at the end of the day, when they start to doing the extra, putting 100 on 10 and being, like media whores, and go to the point where they just start selling out, I lose interest. I digress. But stylistically, I'm thinking about just the fight. I give Devin Haney all the props in the world for having a great, perfect, just a stellar performance against Regis Progress, man. I give him all the credit in the world. That was a spectacular performance, man. You can't take nothing away from him at all for that performance. You see the progression, you see the evolution, you see, him arriving into being a great fighter. And we seen what Tank do. I take my hat off and applaud his performances of late, Hector Garcia's and Ryan Garcia's and etc. But at the end of the day, and Shakur, despite his last performance that was lackluster, You know, I still look at his performances against Robinson, Conceição, you know, Jamel Herring and Oscar Valdez and Yoshino. Was great performances. But you can tear down their performances as well. You can tear down and say, oh, he had a terrible performance against Del Santos, man. You know what I'm saying? He stuck up the joint. He ran too much. He was too defensive. He didn't throw no punches. It was a world record for the least amount of punches thrown in a fight. You can do that. You can look at Gervonta Tank Davis and say, oh, Ryan Garcia was the weakest link when it comes to the Four Kings conversation. Ryan Garcia was just all hype, and you know what I'm saying? He really only had power, and Rolly Romero only had power, and Hector Garcia, you brought him up, and then weight clause this. You can tear down Tank Davis' resume all you want to. You can tear down Devin Haney. You can say, oh, Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying, he had a bad fight against Jermaine Ortiz, and Lomachenko beat you in that fight. Well, I got Lomachenko winning that fight. Or Regis Progress was flat-footed and he was old, and you can do that shit. Gamboa was old, and Jamel Herring was old, and Oscar Valdez was on T, and you know what I'm saying, your only good fight was against Pedraza, and you ain't fought nobody, and you just a novelty act. And you can go back and forth with all that tearing down shit on both sides, and you made this amount of money on pay-per-views, and you sold this at the gate, and Bobby, you can do that shit all day long. I'm not gonna pay attention to it. It's just noise, rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? That's the turnoff as a boxing fan. Boxers and boxing fans get way too entitled in dragging out these conversations and debates and back and forth. I'm looking at Devin Haney's style. I don't know what weight they gonna be able to come to an agreement on. I'm pretty sure on one side, somebody gonna have to capitulate. Somebody gonna have to, you know, make a little sacrifice here and there. It's gonna be some give and take. It's called a negotiation. They're gonna have to negotiate and find some kind of common ground. Nobody gonna be able to just get so much advantage, but somebody gonna have a vantage point. That's war. Whenever you engage in war, it's never gonna be an even playing field, a perfect even playing field. Somebody always gonna have a little bit of an advantage point, a higher ground, or closer to where they access to food or something. They're gonna have something better. When it comes to war, somebody gonna have an advantage and somebody gonna be at somewhat of a disadvantage, and it's gonna have to be strategy and technique and game planning. What's gonna win the war? What's gonna win the battle? What's gonna win the war? And Devin Haney, the way he's progressing and the way he's, you know, starting to physically fill out and kind of being more cohesive and seamless in his offense and defense, putting together a better game plan, not staying in the pocket too long and getting hit with shots that wobble him. You know what I'm saying? He was in and out, sticking and moving, fighting in the pocket. And his instincts and and reaction time was better. His gauging the distance was better. He had more ring generalship. He had a little bit more power. You know, he stumbled Regis multiple times, hurt Regis multiple times. Very hard to hit and elusive when he fought against Kambosos, you know what I'm saying, and learned a lot from fighting Lomachenko. He's bigger, slicker, faster, and his IQ is showing through. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta Tank Davis knocking everybody out, except for Isaac Pitbull Cruz. He usually going a little bit of a knockout streak. We know he got, you know what I'm saying, a hellacious power to some of his punch selections, but we know he had a disadvantage when it comes to the stature. He's shorter with shorter arms. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I think when I see them fighting. I see Gervonta Tank Davis. I think he's just faster than Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? I think he's faster than Devin Haney, and I think that fight would go the distance. And I think Gervonta Tank Davis will win by decision. But it would be some nip and tuck rounds because Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying, is a slick boxer, got good wheels, you know what I'm saying, good control of the distance, and his jab is superb. But Gervonta Tank Davis, I feel like is just a diverse fighter. Naturally, innately, and he's gifted. And it's like people focus so much on the power, they forget about his abilities to box and be on the back foot. And he don't have to load up and try to get polarizing knockout shots. He's done that in the past, but he don't have to do that. And if he decides to, I'm just gonna be fast and stick and move and come in with quick punches, like on some Manny Pacquiao, quick punches, and you know what I'm saying, in and out and move, and you're not gonna be able to catch me. I don't think that Devin Haney would be able to catch Gervonta Tank Davis if Gervonta Tank Davis is not, you know, just looking for one big shot or trying to knock out Devin Haney. I honestly think that Gervonta Tank Davis, if he just uses speed, he's just too fast. It's just not gonna be no knockout. You know, everybody be thinking, oh, Gervonta Tank Davis gonna knock out Devin Haney. Devin Haney got a chin. Devin Haney controls the distance too well. He's too defensive. I don't see him getting caught with a big shot that's just gonna put his lights out. I don't see it. And I think he's just too strong to get knocked out with a body shot. I don't see it. I see that fight going the distance. I can see Devin Haney getting hurt, but not getting knocked out. I don't see Devin Haney getting dropped in that fight. But I can see him getting outboxed by Gervonta Tank Davis. But it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be what Gervonta Tank Davis has done in his previous fights, because the thing about it, Gervonta Tank Davis, what's captivating about him is you will see him with one big shot knock somebody out like Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? One big shot. But you see him in the meantime, you see him taking a lot of punches. You see him when he fought against Mario Barrios on the unofficial cards. You know what I'm saying? He was down on the scorecards unofficially after he had just knocked down Mario Barrios twice. But he's trying to get these knockout shots, but he don't have to. So he's just trying to go for a knockout and captivate the audience of the awe of the power of the Gervonta Tank Davis. I think his style is different, and he does take a little bit more punches, but he walk through punches and eat punches. But I don't think he really have to get hit. His style is not set to where he has to, you know, walk you down or have to set you up with a big trap to walk you into a big shot. I think that Gervonta Tank Davis, if he wanted to, he can stick and move and not put 100 on his punches and just put a little bit on his punches and just stay slick and move and Speedy Gonzalez you. And he's short and low to the ground. And if he down here bobbing and weaving, he ain't got to bend all the way down, which is illegal. He can just be down here low, bobbing and weaving, explode with a couple of punches, get out the way, and you won't be able to touch him. He just ain't got to have a knockout mentality. But at the same time, I can see Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? It's all mental warfare as well. If they build up the fight mentally, they would have Gervonta Tank Davis chomping at the bit to get a knockout, which I doubt, because I think Gervonta Tank Davis is just I think his IQ is just a lot higher than what people understand because of his that Baltimore accent. I think people just think he a brute, or think he just a thug, or think Gervonta Tank Davis is a genius, man. His mentality, especially when it comes to boxing, is on another level. It's on another level. You know what I'm saying? The way he understands the technique of fighting, I think, is on another level. I think Devin Haney is still climbing up that mountain to get to that knowledge. I think that Gervonta Tank Davis was just born into that knowledge. He just was born from the gods of warfare. He just born innately just knowing how to do certain things that just can't be taught, in my opinion. But those are my thoughts. I think Gervonta Tank Davis would fight a totally different game plan than what he had against his other opponents, because Devin Haney is his most dangerous opponent. I think it's a close fight. Let the best man win. If it ever happened, it can go both ways. I see paths of victory for Devin Haney with his boxing skills and his momentum and his confidence right now. But I also see, you know, him losing certain battlegrounds in negotiation, him coming in kind of playing just a little bit of the second banana or second fiddle, or just the B side to a certain extent to a Devin Haney. And I think it'll just kind of play out like that throughout the negotiations and through the fight. I think he just would be a little bit underneath Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis level. I think Devin Haney would be just a little bit below the level of a Gervonta Tank Davis, and you will see that separation only by so much. But I think the outcome would be a victory for Gervonta Tank Davis, but not what people think. Not like it's going to be this crazy knockout that's going to have Devin Haney sleep on the ground or shit like that. No, they both going to be standing. This is one of the fights. That's why I hate to see all this back and forth bullshit when ain't nothing happening, because there's no reason why these dudes can't do what other fighters have done in the past, where they should have trilogies by now. They should be on their second or third fight. You know what I'm saying? Because they stylistically, I feel like they can fight. You can put them in a fight 10 times and get, you know what I'm saying, 9 out of 10 times it'd be different. You ain't gonna get, it'd be 2 different fights they'll learn from. I just don't understand what you think. Everything's got to be winner take all, one big fight, one big payday, when they should be fighting this upcoming year, and the fight should be so damn razor thin and so close and so competitive and so, you know what I'm saying, controversial, that by the end of the year they'd be fighting again and really raising the stakes and really being able to talk shit, because now we can get behind the shit talking, because we know it's surreal. It ain't just bluster and bullshit. But that's all. I ain't gonna stress this video out to no damn 20 minutes. Salute, salute, salute. Nocturnal thoughts, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, man, sub up.